No one would notice, Kirk Frost hoped. He thought he could stand in front of Jasmine Washington, make heartfelt vows, pledge to her for the rest of his life, and keep it all a secret. But the internet never sleeps. His wedding vows were also made public in private, every single syllable. And his statements in those vows just split the hip-hop and romantic worlds in two. Although Jasmine stayed silent for years, Kirk not only admitted that he had loved her, but he also asserted that she was his real choice while Rashida was out here protecting his name for almost a decade. As if that weren't enough, Rashida's mother at Charlene ATL went live after watching the footage, and her words on that stream shocked the culture. The problem here is not only cheating. This is about treachery, heritage, and a mother's resentment that has been growing for years. Jasmine Washington, Arf Kirk Frost, Arf for R ASHEDA, ARC LHATL, ARC scandal that gained widespread attention. It was not intended for the video to be there. Kirk told them all so. Jasmine promised to do just that. Tweed didn't even have a videographer on staff. She stated in her account 2 weeks ago that it was private and just the two of us. But since a whole 5-minute video footage was shared by an unidentified source last night, the lie has finally come to light. From Kirk and Jasmine's secret garden wedding. And what was heard on that recording has completely destroyed the Frost legacy. The camera's angle was erratic. Kirk's voice was a little subdued, but his words were quite clear. Furthermore, my remarks should never have given you the impression that you were clandestine. You provided me with peace when everything else was in chaos. Jasmine, I've been secretly adoring you for years. But today, I've made the decision to openly praise you. No more hiding. You're not my second choice. You are my genuine love. They were more than just assurances. That especially targeted Rashida, his wife of over 20 years and the mother of his children. It's the woman who stood by him through infidelity-related scandals, hidden infants, and national disgrace. Within minutes of the video going viral, Twitter was exploding. Immediately, the hashtag #KirkFrost became viral. Fan pages featured transcriptions of the vows. At the neighborhood conversation, TikTok's creators played dramatic voiceovers and posted them with the message NEH. Kirk stated that Jasmine was his genuine love, although he was still married to Rashida. But it wasn't only the internet that was on fire. Rashida's mother went live on Instagram at Charlene ATL within an hour. There was no glamour or warning, just her phone, and 100,000 angry fans who were prepared for smoke. And she gave birth. Are you going to let me know? This bald-headed moron stood there in a rented tuxedo and told that girl she was the one, in front of God and Georgia. I don't care, darling, how pretty her lace front looked. No woman is worth you throwing away a whole family like this. It was just gasoline. In the comments, fans started shouting, Auntie, talk about the yacht. The vibe is this. Thus, Shireen deserves her own performance. The secret was then disclosed by Charlene. Too much time has passed since I last spoke. But let me tell you something. Kirk has been planning this wedding since the last season. Jasmine knew. Don't let her fool you. Rasheeda was getting a dress fixed in the background, and there was a smile on her face. That clip alone was worth 7 points. 3M views for 4 hours, but Rasheeda remained silent. No public announcement, no tweets, no news. But her inner group started talking. Watching your whole marriage end through leaked videos. Nah, she don't deserve this, one of her store partners said online, accompanied by a blurry screenshot of Rasheeda crying during a phone call. The next morning, a second shock via an unknown Instagram account at VH1 at Rashida and Mona Scott Young, along with a screenshot of the first wedding planner's invoice. Completely paid with a card, signed, and dated. According to the description on his business card, Kirk made the reservation a month before telling Rashida he was working on himself. 17. That man was scheduling flowers, while Rashida was scheduling treatment. SMH, all of a sudden, things started to go wrong. Kirk asked for a 1-week delay in filming in June because of personal and family issues, and the backstage crew confirmed this. It was exactly the same week as the wedding invoice date. Everyone had questions. How could Jasmine have kept quiet? Was all of this part of a romantic and hip-hop plot? Did production know about it? If so, what prevented Rashida from receiving a warning at I Am Carliard? While drinking wine, Carliard went live and screamed, "Two! I told y'all that man ain't right, and Jasmine, baby, that smile doesn't mean you're safe because when Rashida really moves, she'll move in silence." Meanwhile, Rasheeda's manager posted a single boomerang to her Instagram account. Sunglasses, the phrase, "Today we reclaim everything," and her signature all-black blazer outfit. Legal filings were filed the same day to have the Frost last name removed from all of her businesses, including her internet stores, podcast network, and beauty contracts. Jasmine tried to reply with a witty comment when the Shade Room uploaded Charlene's live feed. It would not sit well with the supporters. "Tell Mama that her vows, not mine, should be her concern. You're bringing Rasheeda's mother into this. You aren't even legally his wife yet. She was able to secure a job in spite of the pain." Kirk probably hasn't been home since the spill, and his situation just got worse. They found an audio communication that was allegedly from a group chat between Jasmine and one of her friends. Add a dot to it. "Honestly, once we did the vows, I knew he'd have to choose," Jasmine jokes. "There's no going back now, Rashida. You're permanently gone." Going viral again. Tarks, it was planned by Jasmine. People started to question her activities. Was the entire situation set up to ensure a plot? Was Kirk tricked? Or did he willingly put his wife under the bus with flower arrangements and poetic vows? ATL wasn't done with Charlene at the same time. She showed Rasheeda a photo of herself at supper. Rasheeda's eyes were puffy, yet she maintained a nice posture. "We laugh and level up instead of lamenting clowns, and I brought up a queen, not a doormat," was the caption, and in a single day, the response on that post alone exceeded that of Jasmine's whole Instagram account. Then, in an unexpected turn of events, Yandi jumped right in. She stated, "This ain't just betrayal," while sharing Shireen's live feed. "This is not how hip-hop and love were supposed to be. This is an over-the-top PR stunt." And you know who rolled their eyes when retweeting it? Jasmine. In order to ensure that Jasmine, Kirk, Charlene, and Rashida are all in the same room, the production has now announced an urgent reunion reshoot. Fans have already called it the Frost funeral episode. The announcement that the emergency reunion will be reshot was like a sledgehammer. The crowd couldn't believe what was happening. There have been scandals in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta before, but this was the most widely reported, unfiltered, and humiliating fall ever captured on tape. The fact that Rashida had said nothing added to the suspense, but there was no question that she would show up. It was confirmed when her stylist posted a muted boomerang of Rashida getting makeup done, with the tagline, "This look isn't for TV, it's for war." When Nashar Justice at Charlene posted it, Jasmine was in full charge of her harm. The caption said, "She ready." She included a revolving array of images of newborns with bumps, romantic music, pastel filters, and various fake tranquilities. Love always triumphs despite all the changes in life. Her caption read, but the replies didn't fit it. Love was lost. They told lies. "You're posting bump photos like you're not holding Rashida's karma," Jasmine said in the voice note leak that you included. "There's no turning back now." Jasmine resisted, though. She said, "Y'all acting like I planned this. I didn't force him to say those vows. Kirk meant every word, while live with her cousin. Real messy, not real love." Carly Red soon stepped into the comments, adding, "And to be honest, I won't apologize for a love that was real." Then the day arrived. During the reunion, you could use a knife backstage to diffuse tension. Even though NDAs were signed, security was doubled, and the cast was dragged one by one. Kay Walls tried to lighten the mood, but Kirk was pacing, Jasmine was already in the dressing room rehearsing her lines, and nobody was laughing. Rashida hadn't arrived yet. Loudest thing in the room until the doors opened and her visage, adorned with all-black statement earrings and sunglasses she wouldn't take off, spoke for itself as she slowly entered. She arrived to close the ice chapter. With fire, and producers rushed because she had no interest in bargaining. She wasn't scheduled or micked at Charlene ATL, but she was there because she wouldn't allow her daughter to be in that room alone ever again. "I'm not talking, I'm watching," Charlene said, waving him away when he tried to go out with her. The host made an effort to ease in. The recording began when Kirk said, "There are no contracts on motherhood." Jasmine, the last several weeks have been really busy. Reactions have been triggered by the release of the video. Let's start with the most important query. Why were those wedding vows made? Kirk cast his gaze downward. Jasmine, a quiet speck. We want privacy. For us, it was a moment. She cleared her throat and leaned forward. Although the vows were not intended to be seen, they were sincere. You haven't mentioned anything, Rashida. After seeing the video, how did you feel? The host said. There was silence in the room. Jasmine blinked. Carefully removing her glasses, Rashida fixed her gaze on Kirk. I was free. Kirk's eyes shifted as the host went on. Free from the illusion. Free from hoping he'd become the man I needed, said Rashida. I was still married when I saw him utter similar things to another woman, so that was my final answer. He's never been mine. The event that made him feel strong has always been a part of him. Viewers on the live feed were going nuts. The speed at which the comments were flowing in caused the displays of several phones to freeze. The hardest phrase in this concert is something I've never heard before. When she said he belonged to the moment, I just threw my phone. I just chucked my phone. Jasmine said nothing. She was staring at the floor with her lips pressed tight. Finally, Kirk made a statement. I didn't mean to do you any harm. However, Rashida remarked, you did. And not only during the wedding. With every lie you had me endure. Even as you were out here making a second family, I had to act like everything was okay in every scene we shot. Now you want to act like this was an accident. Jasmine's head came up. I didn't steal him. In her direction, Rashida turned her whole body. You didn't have to. He let himself be seen, separately, and you were happy to seize the leftovers. Startles. Everyone in the crowd was silent. Even the crew did not move. The host intervened to save face. Jasmine, would you like to say something to Rashida? From one lady to another. Jasmine inhaled deeply. I'm not here to hurt you. I came here because Kirk made a decision. He decided to be rude to me. Rashida took over. And you enabled it? You saw him mislead, cheat, and manipulate while you stood there smiling. Don't act like you're innocent now. Then Charlene stood up, still off camera and unmissed, but she could not keep quiet any longer. You need not speak another word, baby. In her own words, to Rashida, he made fun of you on TV for years. Now he wants to act as though he was compelled to do it by love. No, it was want ego did, and the bed you created is now yours to sit in. Everyone went cold. The color of Jasmine's face paled. Kirk did not move. The producers tried to cut back on the stream. The host whispered, let's take a break. It's not necessary. But Rashida got up too. I'm done. She looked one last time at Kirk. You will always be the guy who mistakenly believed that love and attention were interchangeable. She grabbed her purse and walked out. She didn't turn around even though the cameras were following her. It's that easy. When she posted a photo of herself and her mother holding hands backstage, Archer Closure daughter Team Rhea started trending again at Kirk Frost's site. Her last scene didn't conclude with, some vows don't need to be broken, just forgotten. Jasmine submitted, a mysterious comment without speaking. When people are hurt, they become resentful. The reply was, nah, pain makes people strong, but causing pain makes you disposable. Rashida is seen departing the reunion in a video that went viral an hour later. With each thread, her final words, I can't record by every relationship podcasts, across social media, were sewn into TikTok, remixed, and turned into reality. You'll always be the guy who thought love was the same as attention. The video caught her appearing surprised, and still as Rashida and Charlene ATL left like queens as she was being ridiculed. A hazy Instagram story showing her ring and baby. Pregnancy was subsequently uploaded by the media at the Shade Room, with the description, Swoosis walked away from a marriage and left the mic smoking our team RH to Jasmine. She attempted to respond with the remark, still winning backfired hard. Winning, exactly. Congratulations on inheriting 20 years of debt and lies, one commenter said. You own the ring. Freedom was given to her. Enjoy the experience of being trapped. As the feedback continued to pour in, Jasmine started to falter and presented a live example. "You guys think she's glowing?" Backstage, Sis had been sobbing for days. The figures were harsh, and Rasheeda was not only regaining her money, but also her authority when it was revealed that she had formally used the adultery provision in her prenuptial agreement with Kirk and Wu. One of her stylists wrote on social media, leaving her new clothing line's Instagram account inactive. Technically, though, Rashida's @CarlyReed reposted that headline and added, "So Sis got married in another woman's home." The real kicker is that leaked court documents showed that Rashida was entitled to 100% of their joint real estate, 70% of Frostbro's income, and 100% of all license agreements executed in her name. She would be granted retroactive ownership of any property Kirk purchased with joint finances during their marriage, presumably including the precise home where Kirk and Jasmine were wedded. House. She is a tenant, not a wife. How TL doubled down on romance at Bambi. Meanwhile, Kirk was silently disintegrating. He had completely vanished from social media, as shown by no new posts, comments, or club appearances. Sources said that he had been renting a short-term residence outside of Dakar, and that he seldom returned calls, not even from his kids. The internet doesn't wait for healing. I never meant this to become this terrible. I was lost. The scenario included alleged screenshots of Kirk emailing one of Rasheeda's relatives, begging for help in getting back in touch. The cousin added, "It is said that the day you stood in front of that girl and declared her to be your true love, you erased yourself. She isn't responding. Please talk to her. Let her know that I'll sign anything, but don't allow her to forget me." Fans responded swiftly. There is no way to return from that. 4. Imagine publicly begging to see a woman you sent away. She is no longer angry and is not bothered, which is why men should be wary of women who get better. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern, and we don't mess with patterns. But in a surprising turn of events, my daughter gave that man everything, and when it came time for him to honor her, he gave it to someone else. Charlene went live again, but this time she was calm and not yelling, unlike before she had been, posting subtle insults and motherly cautions. Charlene deserves a red table discussion by herself. We don't mess with trends, so it's okay if someone puts this woman on Netflix right now. It's going viral. Jasmine wasn't done playing when Rasheeda posted the video to her page with just a white heart emoji as the description. The next morning, she posted a carousel of softly lit images of Kirk kissing her stomach with the explicit caption, "A good woman is never left by a man. He departs in search of the woman who gives him joy." Fans were able to get in despite her silence and the fact that her preferences were hidden. The recording you supplied of Kirk saying that Rasheeda was the strongest woman he had ever met, that is, the one who lets him lie without taking responsibility, makes him feel wonderful. You can't act like a wife when he is still a spouse. And just as Jasmine was trying to piece together her narrative, the final piece of this disaster leaked. Kirk's whole wedding vows, typed, dated, and worst of all, the original date fell during the week Rashida had taken him to couples therapy. The PDF was in black and white. Do you mean to tell me that this man penned vows for his side chick while he was in therapy? Fans were shocked when he wept on TV the same week about rebuilding trust. Rasheeda quietly presented the self-care, health, beauty, and fashion company, Rashida during this Bet Uncut emotional trauma episode, but her actions shouted louder than ever. Hip-hop and love aren't the season. The motto is, rethink, rebuild, reclaim. Sometimes closure ain't an apology, she said during her press conference with Ida Sense, which was attended by fans. The bag is brand new, untamed. She found power in her pain. In this manner, you may transform a heartbreak into an empire. Legal experts caution that Kirk may lose almost everything now that the prenuptial agreement is formally in place, and Jasmine is posting photographs of her tummy and requesting a Frost Bistro diet regimen in the interim. SMH. Jasmine reportedly broke down in tears during a deposition, and Rashida reportedly showed up sipping green juice and wearing Dior. When Jasmine arrived in Fulton County Family Court that morning, she had lost her spark, and the whole courtroom knew who had won. She had lost the smugness she wore when Kirk's vows were made public, the white dress, and the soft filter. All of that was gone, save for a huge sweatshirt, a swollen face, and the look of a lady who realized the illusion was falling apart. This was because today was about assets, not love. Rhea, wearing a long trench coat, black leather gloves, and a slicked-back haircut, arrived half an hour late, followed by her lawyer and 2 assistants, although she seemed unconcerned that none of them belonged to Jasmine, which was problematic. Her energy was unbreakable. There were murmurs in the hallway. She looked a lot like Olivia Pope. When Kirk finally showed up, he was gray, unshaven, with puffy eyes and without any jewelry. The man who used to walk on LHA stages suddenly seemed incapable of strutting out of a basic rental agreement. Kirk would not return from this, because this is what fans didn't know. After Rashida triggered the infidelity clause in the prenuptial agreement, her legal team set to work. And what did they discover? Jasmine had been renovating the wedding home, and Kirk had begun moving money to another joint account with her, before the wedding, which had been frozen. It's bound in Rashida's name. Kirk handed her the car during the baby shower, and she couldn't resist leasing it at Charlotte Needle under Frostbro LLC. She thought she had married a king. Sis got married. She published a meme the next morning. A disadvantage. Justice Rashida is in the courtroom. Jasmine began sobbing before her name was revealed. Rashida didn't even look at Kirk when her lawyer showed him the evidence of the illegal transactions, including backdated checks and unrecorded filmmaking proceeds from a vlog that Kirk and Jasmine had filmed. Kirk was instructed to stay seated. "I didn't know," Jasmine once said in a whisper to her lawyer. But in private, her face just fell apart. He said, "We were okay, but it didn't matter since Rashida's team showed images of time-stamped bank activity, email threads, receipts, and Jasmine's close friend's Instagram story. Rashida was given full creative rights to all Frost-branded work by midday, and the court didn't even bat an eyebrow. Kirk was counting money in her kitchen. Kirk simply stared at the floor when the gavel struck. Jasmine looked distraught, and the first claim on their combined residence over back payments Kirk owed from past due taxes filed jointly with a lawyer remained silent. Dot and Rashida. She smiled. She did not cry or shout. She prevailed. She didn't drag. Outside, Reed was watching Carly with cameras. "We would want to thank Rashida for coming into that courtroom and leaving with an empire. She is a warrior in addition to being a business tycoon." When Jasmine took over, she believed she had a husband, but Sis left feeling bad, and Twitter went berserk because she wed a man who was still in another woman's bank account. Now that justice has been done, someone need to offer Kirk a humble pie. Just when everyone believed it was finished, Kirk tried to speak late. "I hurt the people I cared about." That evening, he posted a 2-minute live video on Instagram featuring simply his voice, low, slow, and breaking, without any filters or backing music. "It's focused on trying to fix something that was wrong with me. Jasmine is not the villain, Rashida is. I was the bad guy. The comments were harsh, and I lost the best thing in my life because I couldn't stop lying." He paused and choked up a line to end the movie, adding, "I thought I was building something new, but all I did was destroy something that took years to create. If Rashida is looking, I'm sorry. This wasn't fair to you. You gaslighted her, humiliated her, and then tried to start over as if nothing had happened. You didn't just lose her. When vows were made to another lady, there were no takebacks. Too late, too little." The trailer for Rashida's first full-length documentary special was uploaded without any comments, likes, or responses. The Reset, produced in collaboration with Airpart Essence and Lifetime TV, featured interviews with Charlene ATL, Air Carly Red and her children, exclusive video, unreleased messages, and the documentary's journey from betrayal to rebirth. Black and white video rolled in and out, showing Kirk crying, Jasmine smiling, and Rashida quietly packing up her clothes. "Before settling for less, I had to lose everything in order to remember who I was." Date of release. Then the screen read, "You saw me forgive, now see me rebuild. Valentine's Day." Her followers were shouting as she transformed melancholy into a documentary bag. On TikTok, Jasmine's former closest friend even said, "I told her this would happen. This woman had the most radiant radiance." Jasmine is still trying to get on the Frost Wi-Fi network. "I told her that the man she was associating with was emotionally and legally unavailable. Even though she thought she was winning because she had him, she now realizes that he had nothing to offer." For days, Shared Theracet became viral after someone shared an old picture of Rasheeda from 2005 with the remark, "She's back." Meanwhile, Kirk was spotted alone at a Waffle House outside of Marietta. There is only a man sitting with a styrofoam cup and the weight of a kingdom he burned to the ground. No cameras, no ring. 2 weeks after the courtroom confrontation, and while most of ATL's reality world had moved on to new controversies, one person had completely disappeared. The paperwork had been filed, the assets had been frozen, and the fans had taken sides. Jasmine deleted her Instagram for the first time since 2019. When the store that featured her pregnancy photos removed her promotion from their grid, there was a major pause. Rumors circulated online that Jasmine had left the city to live with relatives in South Carolina, that Kirk was panicking, apparently mailing her money through friends, showing up at her last known location, and even calling production to check on her, but she deactivated her phone and stopped responding to him. Jasmine's hairstylist unfollowed her, she had no posts, stories, or lives, and her backup page went black. Producers, however, weren't buying it when he reiterated his vows to Jasmine while still married. He wants to look like he cares. 1.